Well, hello everyone. Welcome to another relaxing episode of Reviewcade. My name is Andrew.
And I'm codenamed Chick.
Yes, last time on the episode of Reviewcade, not much happened. It was quite relaxing.
No, it was very calm.
Not many things.
Not a whole lot. Not a lot of gunplay, not a lot of explosions, not a whole.
The explosions? What are those?
Not something you would see in the Metal Gear Solid
Yeah,
games,
not
that's for
something,
sure.
You know, there's just this very quiet, relaxing horse. You know, the sounds of sweet sea air.
You've been horse riding, right?
The last time I got on a horse, it kicked me off because of a bee. So no. Ooh, it's my stalker. Hello.
My grandfather used to own horses, and last time I was on a horse, I think I was like 13.
Why are you
Really
guys,
interesting.
Why are you guys following me? Come on. Oh, it was a story, planning, and game design. Well, sir, can we talk about
Written
this
by
opening?
Hideo Kojima.
I wonder how and why and really? Are
Yeah.
you sure it was?
The thing that sucks about this game is just knowing the bullshit he went through during this whole thing with Konami.
Is that a revolver, Mr. Ocelot? yeah.
Yeah. He's got a very Charlie Hunnam face.
On a horse.
It's just an old Spice commercial.
What,
It's
there's
a
not
very
a third
expensive old
option
Spice
to
commercial.
kiss? Good lord. When will there be a kiss option?
I don't know. You really want a kiss option in games, don't you?
If there is a kiss option in a game, I'm giving it a perfect
I think this
score.
is like, I think if you go back in almost every one of our playthroughs and reviews, there's at least one episode where you're like,
Where's the kiss
where's
option?
the kiss option? We've been doing this show and this channel for over a year, and it just never ceases to amaze me.
I need a kiss option. Also, the rain that's falling on my face should be clearing up the blood. Thank you very much.
Yeah. But it's very sticky, though.
Yeah.
First, we need to save Miller. He's in Afghanistan.
And I will say this, like,
Hold tight, Spider Monkey.
Kojima does know how to make a very cinematic game.
Yeah.
I mean, his games literally are like playable movies, basically.
Muslims are fighting back with Western support. Miller was training Mujahideen rebels when he was captured by the Soviets. Red's 40th Army. Troop strength somewhere around 100,000.
Yeah.
Squad holding Miller.
This is a
stood
great
on the
first
edge
date.
of Pakistan.
It reminds me of like the time. I mean, I know it's a horse, but it reminds me of all the times my dad used to take me riding on his motorcycle.
A few more
And we
days
just like riding through the Adirondacks and stuff. It'd be so cool.
or left to rot in a ditch on Afghan soil.
That dude, like motorcycle culture is really really cool. Like when you're on the roads, especially, and they're like I love riding on a bike and going past other bikers because there's just like this sense of like there's like this. So I don't know if you noticed. So when you're on, when you're on the road and you're going past, like you're going one way and you see another biker going the other way, you stick your hand out kind of like flat, kind of like at an angle, and it's basically like your version of saying hi to them. It's like you're saying hi. It's your code is saying like hi to each other. Also, very interesting too. This is I don't know if this isn't really that much of a code, but like if let's say there's like police around and you know you're flying down somewhere, if you like do like this, like people can't see it, but like if you take your hands like as if you're doing like the whole like going up and down with your arms, like you're dropping you're going to a beat basically, and it's like letting you know like hey slow down, there's police ahead. Like it's there's so much stuff I dude it is. It's really interesting.
Its own world.
Some of the rides I've been on, like, just, I mean, I've been on a bike in years. I'd love to get back on one.
Chapter 1.
Jesus!
Okay, we're finally starting.
That was a prologue. So that prologue was, so was it 20, 40? Yeah, about hour and a half prologue, it seemed.
You watched Orange County Choppers, right?
Of course, I've been to Orange County Choppers.
Did you ever have
Multiple times.
a
custom themed bike that I wanted?
custom-themed bike
Yes.
that you've always wanted? And what was it?
So,
Like, describe the design.
okay. So really, growing up, I was a big football fan, and I mean, I still am. So I was like, I would love like I was actually supposed to get a motorcycle made, custom made from me years ago. It was gonna be not really a motorcycle. It was gonna be called what's called a trike. So like when you see the motorcycle, they have the two big wheels in the back and the one in the front.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna get one of those made because it's either easier to handle and easier to balance.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for somebody like myself with one arm, like trying to balance a bike with one arm, like a more.
It's tough.
It's tough. But like it was gonna be custom made. It's gonna be an automatic. It was gonna be.
You can't hear the music, but it is
Pristine.
Excellent. Beautiful music. Good job.
The controls, like the back, the rear tire brakes, so that we can be on the left hand side. It was gonna be custom made. Like my dad had a friend at the time that made custom bikes, and was gonna make me one. And he's like, "Well, what do you want?" I'm like, "Oh, I love like an Atlanta Falcons themed chopper." And it was gonna be just basically like if you've seen the New York Jets bike from Orange County Choppers or American Chopper, as the show was called. That's kind of what I was going to be looking for. But now that I've had time to like marinate on it and really think like, what would I really want? Dude, I want a Super Mario bike. Or either a Super Mario bike or a Galaga bike.
What would the design look like?
So if we're going with Super Mario bike, the frame itself would have to be, it would have to be resembling
Mario with his arms outstretched,
yes,
his legs wide
yes,
as you ride him, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
He's just spread eagle, and you're.
The seat's in the shape of a warp pipe. You know? It's like a banana seat, but it's just shaped like a warp pipe. No, it would. I mean, it would have to be, and I would only say Mario Bike because Super Mario 3 was the first video game I ever played. And I mean, I talked about on the show where I've interviewed Charles Martinet. The game is at the core of what makes me a gamer, or just a fan of video games overall. The frame would have to be blue to basically. The frame would be blue to replicate kind of like his suspenders. The seat, I would make it red and make it look like his hat, like put like an M on the seat, and it would just be red. For the pipes, you can't. I don't think you can get like green or custom colored pipes, which is fine, but I would have them kind of shaped, possibly like in the shape of like a warp pipe, where like they're rounded, but like the edge is of a warp pipe shape. So you got to have that like middle kind of like that thick end to them, basically. I mean, if you want loud, you go with like Screaming Eagle pipes. Vance and Hines aren't bad pipes either. You can also then for the rims, each one would be like each one would be a replica of like a Power Up logo. So like each like the spokes, it would be like 4 bladed spokes kind of thing in the middle like of the rim. One would have like, there'd be 2 straight bars going up, like, and each one would be shaped. Like, one would be shaped in a fire flower. One would be shaped as a mushroom. Another one, and then the next one would be shaped as like a leaf, or and so on and so forth. So it looked like that. Or honestly, instead of that, you just make stars. Just do stars in each to replicate like a spoke kind of thing, which would be easier. Yes, I mean it was probably look something like that. You could do you can do like the high bars, but those I wouldn't want. I would just want like short, kind of like Not long bars, but like, and I don't want the ones that were my hands or my arms are hanging because that would just be a tire. I don't know how those bikers do it, man. I give them so much prop and credit. But it'd be like, kind of like jagged, kind of, short. So I'm kind of like this a little bit, hunch over the front of the bike. And that would kind of probably be my Mario bike. I feel like if you're going with something like, if you're like a comic book fan, if you're a Batman fan, for example, like having the short, the short throttle and stuff like that, would be really really cool. What are you doing?
Letting me move forward in any way.
Try to D-pad. Oh, or call Intel. Try to tap L1.
L1.
Take a look through your
Oh,
I already
binoculars.
did. What the
No, it's gonna
frick?
watch. So see where it says that 1481. I want you to line up with that and like zoom up possibly. I want you to line up. Change zoom on R3. Look directly. What do you say? Look directly. Okay, so tap L1. Oh, right there. And yeah, L1 Intel support call. Yeah, so like I said, I had thoughts like a Batman bike. I had thoughts of a Deadpool bike. Like there's just so many ideas, but the only the main issue is just I don't have a motorcycle license. So when I would ride, I would just ride as a passenger on my dad's bike. I did ride dirt bikes. I have ridden dirt bikes before, which is fun. My dad's cousin lives like in the country, and it was just like huge yard, and I just get on a small dirt bike and just ride around on it, and it was so fun. But I mean, what I don't. The thing is though is that what kind of changed me from wanting motorcycles, like my dad's been a bunch of like close calls on motorcycle, and so it's just like, and I've seen how, I've seen how, drivers react to motorcycles where it's easy, and stuff like that, and it's an expense that I just really can't afford at the time, and it's just like, I have to get I have to get a motorcycle license, you gotta register, all this stuff. It just feels like such a pain in the ass for something that honestly I don't even think I would ride a lot. If I had a place to store it, then like it'd be like cool, but like honestly, man, I've been through my road test for my license. I don't want to go through another road test.
Yeah.
It's just like. Yeah, it's that's basically the gist of it. But yeah, it's yeah. Have you ever thought about getting a motorcycle or riding?
Nope.
No.
I know that is definitely not something in my wheelhouse. I mean, I would love to have a custom chopper, but only as a like decorative item. They're too dangerous for my taste.
It's one of those things where like you have that vehicle in your garage. People are like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Do you ride it? Like, no, I don't ride it. But you just it's like what is it? Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, his dad's Ferrari.
Yeah.
It just sits.
Just be more of like, hey, I have this, but it works. I don't feel like that. It's just too the driving of a motorcycle is too dangerous. I thought it was cool when I was a kid, but not. Why is it showing me going over there?
I have no idea. So I take it yellow is where you gotta go? Interesting.
Oh, it's up to me?
I remember, like, it's hell since we're talking about motorcycles. Like, I remember Like my dad actually owned 3 motorcycles, but then I was born, he sold them. He had 3 Harleys. He had a black one, a white one, and a blue one. He had a lowrider. He had a Fat Boy, I think, and he had, I think, another lowrider. And then he hadn't ridden. So the story of my father riding is a motorcycle is actually really, really. It's for lack of a better term, heartwarming in a sense, because of the cause of it. So, without going into detail, my father had a very, 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 very close friend of his. They grew up together, who passed away in an accident. Not a motorcycle accident; it was a work accident. He passed away, and when my dad has bikes, he and his friend would always ride together, and his friend would ride on the back of his bike. And my dad was at a point where he was like in his 50s. He was just like, I think he was like in his early 50s, or just about to hit 50. And he was sitting down with my mom, and he's like, I'm gonna get one of 2 things. Either he was gonna get a hot rod, but he's like, I know if I get a hot rod or a streetcar, like an old school like streetcar, I know that I'm going to get a lot of tickets and my license is gonna get revoked. Because my dad used to drag race when he was younger. When he was in high school, he used to drag race, where his high school was, because they had a divider, a pole there, it was like just a divider, and they would just race on like a Friday night. And he took me drag racing all the time. My dad used to be on a pro drag racing team. So he's like, either I was gonna get a hot rod, or he said, I'm gonna get a motorcycle. And he said, he goes, he's talking about his friend, and he's like, he and I used to ride a lot, and, I feel like getting a bike and getting my motorcycle license is just like an honor to him, and it's something that will make me happy in a way that I can honor his memory. So my dad got his permit. I remember being at my mom's. He showed up. He had his first bike that he got after getting his permit. Again, was a Dyna Super Glide, so it was a Harley. My dad only rode Harleys, and he had Dyna Super Glide, and then as he got older, him and my mom joined riding clubs, and they would ride up around like Central New York. I don't think my dad ever went to Sturgis, but like when they would go out of town, they would go out of town, they would like put the bikes on trailers with a bunch of friends, and like they would drive to Arizona and just ride around Arizona. Jesus Christ, Andrew!
I think he's down.
I think he's good. And so yeah, he was. And then when that happened, when they joined all those clubs and everything like that, the type of
his buddy is up.
Oh my God!
I knocked him out. Well, you know what, bud?
My dad realized, like, the Super Glide, it was an older bike, but he was just like, it's not meant for riding, because that was a thing. Like, when we would drive, we would ride through like the Adirondacks and stuff like that. We'd go to like the Howes Caverns, we go to Elmira. You would have to stop because your ass would literally get sore, because it was there are certain bikes that are just not meant for riding.
Mm-hmm.
It's like why I see people like when they ride choppers, like how long they can ride for, because it's just like holy shit. Because you need a bike with like good suspension and stuff like that. So my dad got a Road King, got another Harley, and those were like nice touring bikes. Those had the seats that like you would see the people on the back, and it was like encompass their entire back. It was like sitting in a recliner basically. Dude, my dad, and that's the thing too, is like there's things I think I pick up naturally from like my family. Like I come from a hockey family, but I never played hockey, but you put me on a pair of skates and I fly. Like you put a stick in my hand and I'm not good, but I'm like, if I put time into it, I could be decent. But like if I went ice skating tomorrow, I would fly around the ice skating rink. With my dad, riding was something that like, and I knew I got it from my mom's side. My dad, it was riding motorcycles, because my dad always told me, he said, I love riding with you, not just because like, you're my son and we have these father-son bonding moments, but I love riding with you. And even to my mom, he's like, I love riding with Nick because when he's on the back, I don't feel like I don't even know he's there. like he's like my dad would go flying. We were going like the fastest I got on a motorcycle was probably like I don't know 80 some odd miles an hour on a motorcycle with my dad, and dude, holy shit, that is a thrill. And also it sucks when you're going 40 miles an hour in the rain because in shorts because that sucks because it's like literally getting hit with needles in your leg and in your body. It really fucking sucks. But yeah, like so I was like, you know, as much as I would love to ride, there's just so many different hurdles. I'm just like, I mean, it's not worth it for me right now to get a bike and go riding. But yeah, it was just like I'm just so good at riding. Man, again, I used to ride horses, and you know, I rode bikes for years with my dad. So on the back, so he's just like, yeah, he's like, I love riding with Nick because he's just, I literally, he's like, I literally have to check. That's the thing. There was times where I'll be riding with my dad. I would be riding with my dad, and he would like take his hand, like tap my leg, just to make sure that I was there. Like, and he would like look back, make sure I was still there. Because when he would go low around turns, stuff like that, I was just
afraid that you're gonna get dropped off.
No, because it was just one of those things where like I was such a good rider, where because the thing is like the most important thing about riding a motorcycle is when you're riding with somebody is when you're going around turns, because you have to evenly distribute the weight going around turns, or else the bike's gonna tip. So like you don't want like if the driver of the bike is going down and the person on the back is like up kind of, the bike's gonna be uneven. So you have to like lean with the driver.
Right.
You have to lean with the rider with the person in the front. And I would do that so well that my dad would like forget that I was on the bike, and he'd be like, "Oh shit, Nick's on the bike. Is Nick still there?" And he would tap my leg to make sure I was there, or he would look back, and he would laugh because he's like, "Dude," he's like, "I literally like, you're so fucking good at riding that like I feel like I'm by myself." And so it was just that connection that you know, again, he's my dad, so I mean we had that like connection. That like, okay, going around a turn, and I would go with my father and stuff like that, and yeah, so yeah, that one of those was some of my favorite memories with my dad. Were riding. I really miss those moments. You know, because my dad has accidents, so it's kind of sad that it's really sad actually that I won't be able to have those moments anymore with my dad. You know, but I had those moments, and those moments are something that I'm really proud of having, and you know, something I can tell my friends about. Something, obviously, something I told our audience about. I told you about. Yeah, so I mean, like, and you know, I'm not a big motorcycle enthusiast, meaning like I don't know the ins and outs of motorcycles. I know certain, you know, when I say like Screaming Eagle pipes or you know other brand names of pipes, it's because like I was with my dad, and I was a lot of my time was spent in the garage. Just watch my dad work on his bike, or just riding with my dad, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I put this type of pipe on my motorcycle to make it louder, and I put these type of stocks and stuff like that." And so, you know, I certain terminologies, certain names, I have stuck with me, and yeah, so it's you know, if you're someone whose parent has a motorcycle, like ride with them, because riding with a parent, you know, on the back of a motorcycle is one of the most greatest and closest bonding experiences you will ever have. And it's like riding on the back of a motorcycle with a parent is as close to a spiritual experience as you can have. Because it's just the bonding, because it's like when you ride, those rides are going to be hours long, and those rides are going to be, you know, knowing when I would ride my dad, it would be, hey, you know, we're gonna stop. We're gonna go to House Caverns, but there's this like barbecue place that we're gonna stop by on the way back, and it'd be like my dad, me, two of his friends, two of my friends, just riding. You know, like I remember like one day, my dad, two of his friends, and they're one of them had a daughter, one of them had a son. We just went for like a father-kid ride on a Sunday, and spent the entire Sunday just. We left at like 8 in the morning, got breakfast at a diner, rode up into the Adirondacks, up through House Caverns, down where Orange County Choppers is, went to House Caverns, which is great. If you're in the New York area, go to House Caverns. It's a wonderful experience. Go see the caverns and all of the formations in there. It's fantastic. And then going to OCC and just looking at all the bikes and just it's such a great memory. And then we on the way back we hit up this like barbecue place, and dude, it was such a wonderful experience. That is my 20 some odd minute talk about the joys of riding a motorcycle, man. That's like when you watch a movie and somebody's riding a motorcycle and they're like genuinely they're happy and they're riding this motorcycle, dude. That's a genuine happiness that they're feeling, because like it's and of course if you do ride motorcycles, just be safe, be courteous. If you're somebody who just drives a car, be courteous to those on the road who ride bikes. Please. That is my TED talk on the art of riding a motorcycle. Really?
I can't.
I
Really?
Okay. It says, that's one of the things about games that kind of like is odd to me. It's always odd to me, like when you can't crawl over certain surfaces and certain uneven. So you can do that, but you can't climb over the 2x4s or whatever they are, the boards. That's really interesting.
I'm hunting. I'm a snake. I'm a snaky snake.
You're a sneaky snake.
Move.
Why don't you just try to get a double shot through both skulls?
No.
To pull a Deadpool move.
No.
Come on, Andrew.
No.
You can do it. I've seen your
There-
target shots.
Sir. No peeking. I'm a snake. I'm a snake.
So what do you, now that you've gotten some kills under your belt and are in the process of hunting, what do you what are you
I
feeling?
can already tell you that there are some control issues, but
Okay.
and reticle shit that. Oh fuck you, sir! You coming over to me?
Coming to my place in my tall grass. Ooh.
Satisfaction about.
Did you was that his head that was rolling? Did you literally shoot his head off? No. I saw something roll. It looked like it was round like a head.
It could have been a grenade.
Oh.
Yeah, his head's still attached.
Or a piece of his face.
But now, he is hidden. The hunting shall commence. I already have one target ready. To be ready for the slaughter. This is my bread and butter is stealth.
See, that's the thing. When you were asking me a couple episodes ago, like, do you like stealth? And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of, more of the run up to you, stab, shoot, kind of go guns blazing kind of guy. You're the exact opposite of my play style.
I have to be. Ooh.
Ooh. Man, that's a pretty long gun you got there, sir.
I know.
And it's got a silencer on it?
And that's not gonna hit. Fuck.
It would probably lightly graze.
No. The reticle wasn't allowing me.
So is that what the reticle, there's literally there are shots you literally cannot take? Oh, so it has to be red in order to hit him, basically? Oh shit. Whoa! Good God. Yeah, that's the thing. I know I said on past episodes, but Andrew is very, very good with headshots.
Mm-hmm.
Like, scary good. Like, I've seen him gun range target shot good.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
He's my
scary.
bread and butter. I like.
Also, it helps that your grandfather was a sniper
I
during
guess
World War
during
II.
World War II, and survived, mind you, which is also snipers did not make it. Well, sharpshooters did not make it generally back from World War II. So the fact that the man not only had confirmed kills, my mother has never told me how many, and I don't know if he ever said how many he had, but the man had confirmed kills. And he made it back from World War II. That's quite the achievement. She told me once that my grandfather shot a duck from the kitchen window. It was like so he was in the kitchen, and the pond is about an acre away.
Okay.
So it's a bit of distance, and
Yeah.
he just pulled out his rifle and had shot 2 ducks with 1 bullet from the fucking kitchen when they were kids. So yeah, accuracy is one of my accuracy and stealth.
It's one of those things that you inherit. Yeah, because there are literally times like I'll be in the apartment and you'll like walk up. I'm like, holy shit! Like I did not hear you.
Quiet boy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like I said earlier, there's some things that I picked up from my parents. Like again, the skating and hockey and the riding and stuff like that. I got from my parents. You got very scary
Stealthy man
stealthy
skills.
man skills. Yes. Yeah. Holy shit. I. Your story about your grandfather and shooting the duck. And we're just talking about like my mom's never told me how many kills he has. He's never told me how many kills he has. It reminds me of a joke Tom Segura had where he talked about he's like, man, I think his dad fought in Vietnam. And he was like, yeah, my father fought in Vietnam. And I asked him, like, hey, did you ever kill anybody? And he's like, no, I never killed anybody. And then he's like, I asked him again, and then he goes, did you kill anybody? And he's like, I mean, I was out on patrol. So like every time he asked me, he's kind of closer and closer and closer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last time he goes, and I asked him, I go, hey, did you ever like kill anybody? He goes, there's no greater feeling than killing the enemy.
Okay. Fuck. Ooh.
Which is
Fuel
like-
resources.
Which is like how I found out that my dad worked in Miami as like a bouncer in the 80s, in the 70s and the 80s, and lived in Florida. Because I was like, Dad, did you ever you live in? Because this is when him and my stepmom had gotten a place in Florida, and they're like, I'm like, did you guys ever like? Have you ever been to Florida before? Like all this stuff. He's like, well, kind of, getting on vacation, and then I was like, oh, Judas, and he's like, oh, it's like, oh man, I kind of was hung out with some clubs, and I was like, oh, I was a bouncer at some clubs. Oh yeah, I really thrown guys out on the street on the club and at clubs in Miami. I'm like, oh shit. So that's the thing about like I find about my parents, especially my dad, because my family and my dad's side is not very like open when you ask them about certain things. Or just like their past. Which, I mean, being Italian, I totally understand. There are things in Italian families that, aren't discussed.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's just like things I asked my dad, and the more I kind of pressed him on, his answer would get more and more like closer to the revealing what the actual truth is, and the truth is like pretty damn interesting. I don't know if he got into any. I mean, he probably did. I mean, the man bounced clubs in Florida, South Florida. So I mean, man, I always wonder. You ever wonder like what the young version of your parent, like if you could spend a day with the young version of your parents, they wouldn't know like you were their kid. You would just be like you would Marty McFly that shit.
Mm.
Like if you could spend a day with your like your parents are together, but they're like, 20s in their 20s. Like, what do you think that would be like?
I mean, I asked my dad about what it was like, being my age.
Yeah.
And like what he was watching. God, you little bastard! Stop looking at Mike. Stop looking at Mike. I don't want you to see. And your buddy is walking that way, so I gotta make a choice. Who's gonna get shot first? And the answer will surprise you.
It's not gonna surprise you. It's gonna be a 30-meter guy. Jesus. So you were saying about your dad?
And
He's alert. I gotta kill him quick, bud. Yep, there. His gun's blazing. There's no such thing as stealth. Jesus, he's still getting up. Ooh.
enemy alert status. Why did I break my suppressor? Great.
So what was 20-year-old Bob Ibach like?
I mean, he was. It was all about apparently driving down the main drag in my birth town.
The mean streets of Bellingham, Washington.
No.
No?
Eastern Washington.
Oh!
But it was always about driving around in your car, and who had the loud car, and oh, what? Who saw me? Where?
God saw you. He's everywhere. Even in the cupboards.
Damn it! I was trying to do this whole mission stealthed.
Probably got we would have gotten a trophy if you did.
I thought I was pulling it off so well. Where is this dude?
Probably. Oh, the guy that saw you? Up. He's on top. He's on top of a roof. Or he's right there. When I see the thing like above your head of the white, I always think that's like a notice of, like up. I sometimes forget that means forward.
No, I don't want to use my horse. While holding R1.
L1. Right stick while holding. L1. Oh, okay. Oh, so you hold L1 and then right stick to the right. And tap R3. Push the right stick in.
Oh god, seriously guys? Oh, I called my fucking horse right in the middle of a firefight.
You're fine.
And then when things go loud,
The enemies come out.
stay down. Whoa! Whoa!
Stun. Yeah, let's say headshot him. Bye-bye.
There we
Another
go.
one.
And
Another one.
whoa! Whoa!
Oh,
Whoa!
God.
Whoa! Whoa!
Oh, God.
Who is? Oh.
Yeah, it looks like they have like an automatic weapon. Like
No, there's
I thought it was a turret. Oh, man.
They won't know where I am. And
You're gone.
what?
Oh, come on.
See, this is why I don't like this reticle, is because it's just so open.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking,
You get like, you can just pull up the little reticle
Yeah.
on the head and...
and I mean, I centered his head too, and it didn't kill him.
So it kind of feels like headshots are random, basically, it feels like.
There's luck involved, and that's not something. I like accuracy in my shooters. I like being able to. I mean, if I put my reticle, his head's directly in the middle, like
Yeah.
every gun in existence. I'm gonna hit my target, and for it to not be a headshot, not so sure, Snake. I have to go 1,000 meters to go rescue my bud, so I probably
Yeah, I
should
was about to say, you might want to take the horse.
call it an episode here. I've just killed a lot of Soviets.
Alright, so that's going to do it for this episode of Reviewcade. As always, be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon, make sure you get those notifications when new videos go up every Sunday and Wednesday. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/ReviewCade. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to follow us there, at ReviewCade on Twitter and just ReviewCade on Instagram. Also, I am on Twitch. I stream 2 times a week, twitch.tv/Merc with one arm. I've surpassed the 50 follower mark to head towards affiliate, which is great. So all I need to do is average 3 viewers per stream, and then I can apply for affiliate, everybody. So be sure to check out my streams, help me get affiliate, and then hopefully one day partner. that would be very fantastic. As always, we're also partnered with the American Association for Cancer Research as part of their Players vs. Cancer charity team. We do charity streams to raise money to help fund life-saving cancer research. Be sure to go to aacr.org and also be sure to go to playersversuscancer.org. Links to those websites and to my Twitch channel in the description below, so be sure to click those links and find out how you can help fund life-saving cancer research and also watch some pretty cool streams. I'm going to be playing a lot of Doom Eternal because a lot of people actually want me to be playing more Doom Eternal, which is fine by me.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I like shooting demons and saving the world, so why not? And having a bloody good time. So, yeah, be sure to do that, and we will see you all next time as Andrew just lured these guys.
Yeah, look at this. Look at these like. That's a headshot. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. See you next time, guys. Bye.